One sec, having a little technical difficulty. Now, all right. So what's purpose driven? In a business, it's about creating something beyond economic exchange. It is about wanting to make a difference and do it for others, to help, to support, to serve. It's the impact, the legacy the brand is going to leave behind. So it's creating something bigger than ourselves. And I do feel that almost every business strives to do this. It's just a matter of really sort of looking deep within the company and the corporation to find out what its purpose is and what it really wants to align with. So purpose and passion in work productivity. This is a study done by Bain & Company, and it's really some amazing numbers. Employees are inspired if they get meaning from their company's purpose and are inspired by the company leaders. So if you have a dissatisfied employee, which of course nobody here has any dissatisfied employees, but you're only going to get 71% productivity levels. If you have a satisfied employee, it's 100%. If you have an engaged employee, so that's probably an employee that really likes what they're doing, it's their craft, you have 144%. Now, inspired, I call this the 2-for-1 effect. You can literally have 2 employees for 1 satisfied employees if they're inspired. And that really comes from purpose and something bigger than oneself and beyond, your day-to-day drudgery. So what about business growth? So Unilever, which is a huge global brand, they have 400 different brands. 27 of those brands are what they call sustainable living brands. So that's only 6% of their portfolio. That 6% created 75% of the growth last year. So they're growing at 69% faster rate than any of the other brands. And the CEO has a quote here: "Purpose creates relevance for a brand. It drives talkability, builds penetration, and reduces price elasticity." In fact, we believe this so strongly that we're prepared to commit that in the future, every Unilever brand will be a brand with purpose. I am definitely cheering for Unilever on that front. Purpose also provides loyalty. It creates lasting bonds with the consumers. So I have those brands that I would like to brag about all the time. My Swell bottle, for example, even before they were a B Corp, I loved Swell bottles because I knew that they were giving back and they were creating positive effects in different places in the world with clean drinking water, and that there was a purpose beyond just cleaning the plastic, up out of, and not having those plastic bottles. So I'm a fanatic of theirs. And this is basically how you create fanatics. 79% of Americans say they feel a deeper personal connection to companies with values similar to their own. And they feel better about purchasing. So sometimes we feel as activists or environmentalists, we might feel not so great about buying something, but we still want to buy it. And now that gives us a double whammy. So we get to buy it. Not just do we get to buy it, but we get to create a positive impact with it. It's a win-win for everybody. So the purpose can connect with consumers via the values that matter the most to them, forming an emotional connection that builds deeper bonds, inspires brand advocates. So that's getting back to those fanatics like myself with my Swell bottles. That's what you want to inspire. You don't want just people that are just going to buy from you, but people that are going to turn around and tell all of their family and their friends to buy from you too. And we have 93% of adults, those are US adults, demonstrate more trust and loyalty for an organization that is socially responsible. And 91% would actually switch brands, even if they had to pay more money, even if it's more expensive, because it's in alignment with what's important to them. Then I want to show you guys a little bit about B Corps, which are in Latam, they're called Empresas B. And these are the companies that are basically certified to have a triple bottom line, which is they're taking into account people, planet, and prosperity within their business. So people, meaning that not just their employees, but the consumers and every stakeholder counts. And planet is usually environmentally based, and prosperity is, of course, they have to make money in order to have stability and longevity. And these are, I want to show you a B Corp from Colombia, Fruandes, which was basically built by 2 Colombians. One of them was living in Canada though, and he wanted to import things. And he basically wanted to make sure that the people that were working within their company were getting a fair wage. So this was a dream between 2 friends. It has built an entire community that cares about and respects the environment, the fruit that they produce, and every member of their community. And that includes our consumers. That's going back to that stakeholders. So it's not just people within their community, but the entire planet and what is, you know, best for everybody. They're an agro business. So basically they have, I think, dried fruit and coffee. And they sort of teamed up to import things into Canada. They are a B certified corporation in both countries. Also, they have the USDA organic stamp and the guarantee fair trade. We're proud to say that our products are 100% organic and fair trade certified. More than 350 families of small scale farmers are part of our movement. 75 staff, 70% of which are women, work our plant and headquarters. So they're creating in their local market, you know, well-being, as well as obviously they went 100% organic and are sustainable. So they're creating that for the planet as well. This is another company that's also sort of in 2 countries at the same time, Mexico and USA. So these were a couple of women that started this while they were in Yale, and they were actually in some sort of sustainability course when they decided to create this company, because both of them wanted to create something with a bigger mission. And they created Amor y Rosas. And we're an ethical, slow fashion brand. We believe that authenticity and sustainability are the key to empower communities and to lead social change. We strive to give opportunities to capable women and preserve Mexican heritage. So what's one of the things that's really beautiful about this company is it was not only that they wanted to, you know, be able to create a living wage for these ladies in Mexico that create these beautiful art pieces, basically, that are on clothes now. They wanted to preserve that art because it was disappearing, because it wasn't so fashionable anymore. So basically what they have done is not only done a social favor, but an art and a fashion as well. The pieces are beautiful. If you have a chance to look at them, they're amazing. Amor y Rosas. And today we work with 84 artisans in 7 different villages in Hidalgo and the state of Mexico, each of them expert in a different embroidery and fabric looming techniques. So it really is preserving history and art as well. So just to let you guys know what a certified B Corporation is, the certification goes on the actual business and how the business is run. There are other certifications that people can get for specific products. So if your product is sustainable because it has eco solutions, or fair trade because it's, you know, it's fair trade, it's giving somebody a living wage. And then these are just terms that we like to use over here on the right. These are more marketing language terms. They don't have a certification. However, if you use these with authenticity and you can sort of let people see, you know, be transparent and let people see into where you're creating things, then they will trust you. So 2 of the most important days in your life are the day that you were born and the day you find out why. And I like to say that corporations and businesses are a whole lot like people. And they also have a soul or their chi. And we just need to find out why and dig deeper into that purpose so that we can really connect with the people that also are aligned with that. And that's it for my presentation.
Well, thank you, Sirena. That was really, really great. I really appreciate that. This is stories from our vendors. This is the kind of stories we want to hear from our vendors. This is the way we want to hear it, so that we can then echo those same sentiments and share those stories with our heart shoppers, because we believe that the story is not powerful if it's not coming from you in a certain way. And so this presentation, I hope, will really help you, to give you some insight then on how do you then tell your story as a purpose driven brand. How do you share the impact that you are making in your part of the world? And if there are any challenges with that, Serena is actually working with Purposely and vendors to help them to refine and to clarify their messages. And so this is something that we want to ensure that all of our vendors understand how to do this, because we want everyone to sort of to be on the same page with their story, with the impact that they're actually making. Again, and for those who are just joining us, I mean, Purposely is all about causes. It's all about your purpose, and echoing those to heart shoppers, to folks who are interested in supporting you through the causes that you support and the ones that they care about. So an opportunity then for you to connect with a specialist like Serena. We can actually help you to do that, so that your messaging, your branding can be clarified in such a way where when we are presenting it, when we are echoing that to our heart shoppers, they can get that message and they can see how powerful it is that your brand and the impact it's actually making in your neck of the woods, as we call it, or your world. And remember that the causes that we're essentially then looking for from the causes that we're essentially looking for from you as a vendor, there are no limits as to what causes or what cause you have to support to be a part of our community. If it's a noteworthy cause, it doesn't matter if it's a social or environmental or economical. If it's a noteworthy cause, and if we can validate that, because we must validate your support for those causes and your connection then to either or champions, which are a nonprofit organization in your world that is helping you to make a difference, we will certainly be interested in having you on board, and just kind of having you coming on to tell your story to our heart shoppers. And again, we have a multi-channel platform. So what that means, we have a marketplace where the general community can go and find and discover your products. Alongside with that market, with each of those product display is your story, and they get an opportunity to also get to know who you are. So we felt that a presentation like what you just saw is important for you to then help you to clarify those messages on the platform. If you would like a copy of this presentation, feel free to let us know in the chat, and we'll also share it with you. If you would like an audience with Serena, she can also help you with respect to now how does that look for you as a vendor when you on board or when you decide to be a part of our community. And would love for you to be a part of our community. Our community is growing, our community is getting stronger, and our community is primarily focused 100% on purpose driven brands that are making a difference and that are supporting causes that we care about. So if you have any questions for Serena, or for help with regards to clarifying your message as a purpose driven brand and getting help to showcase and tell your story, please feel free to stay back, because we're going to be opening up the mics to answer any questions in the last segment of the webinar, which is coming up in a couple of minutes. So put your questions together and get ready as we then get into our next session. So our next presentation is going to be from a vendor. And when we met this vendor, one of the things that we were excited about was her zeal and her passion for what she does. And she quickly came onto our platform. She had success. I mean, she was the best performing vendor essentially in the month of November, which is last month, in our platform. And she decided to share her story with you, and would love for you to listen in and to hear what her experience was being a vendor is on our platform, so that you can see for yourself and hear for yourself, as well as ask questions when we get to our Q&A section on how you could also participate in the way that she does. I'm speaking of no other person than Paola Cardona. I'm going to be bringing up her presentation here to share with you. And so Paola is here. She is the founder of Terra Dulce Chocolates, which is based in Colombia. And I will begin by allowing her to then also introduce herself. So Paola, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for the opportunity to share with our other vendors and vendors who are interested in being a part of our community, how they can then leverage this opportunity to become a part of what we are building as a phenomenal community for heart shoppers and for champions, to make it really easy for them to find products that support causes they care about. So tell us a little about Terra Dulce, and tell us a little about the products and service that you offer, Paola.
Thank you, Ricardo. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and share a little bit of our experience. Terra Dulce is a Colombian company located in the coffee triangle of Colombia, dedicated to produce fine artisan chocolate in the bean to bar trend, in which each of the steps of the chocolate making process is carefully controlled, from the harvest of cocoa to its transformation into chocolate. We have a vision oriented towards the sustainable development of the region, in which there is a direct and dedicated relationship with cocoa producers, ensuring that they receive fair payment for their work and production. Our products are made with the highest quality standards, using the best ingredients from the region or from local suppliers. We call that Terra Dulce is real chocolate. We offer chocolate bars with a high content of cocoa, handcrafted in small batches, taking care of each of the steps in the chocolate making process, and focusing on conscious and healthy eating. Chocolate awakens passion, joy, pleasure, and it gets better if you also know that you are nurturing yourself while you delight yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think what makes the product so special is really then the impact then that ties back to what you do in your community with Terra Dulce. So talk to us a little about the causes then that Terra Dulce supports where you are.
Our company was conceived to make a difference and transform lives. One of the purposes of our company is to generate employment in our region, which is mainly focused on agriculture as its major economic activity, where there are few companies that transform and add value to those agricultural products, with poverty levels close to 30%. Our department, our state, which is called Quindío, where our plant is located, has been in the ranking of the departments with the highest unemployment rates in Colombia, with levels around 18%. And during the pandemic year, the levels have reached 29%. Thus, when you buy Terra Dulce products, you have the certainty that you are contributing to employment generation and poverty reduction, especially within young people getting the first time job. Currently, our company has a team of 7 people. We are a small company, but we expect to double that number this year as we grow within the US market with the support of this great network of purpose-driving companies and products. Agriculture is our second cause. We are associated with Cacao King, an association of cocoa growers from Quindío, to ensure that more than 62 families are trained in the best practices regarding the cocoa harvesting and post-harvesting process, so that they can sell their high quality cocoa at fair prices and without intermediaries. Terra Dulce pays its producers up to 50% more than the regular price that they get paid. We promote fair trade by paying those premium prices to our cocoa producers and guaranteeing the absence of child labor, which is a big problem in many countries, since we visit and advise all the farms that provide us with cocoa. We also support cocoa producers who grow their trees in a sustainable agroforestry to conserve the environment in cocoa growing areas. And finally, our third cause is conscious and healthy eating. We promote the consumption of dark and low sugar chocolate, free of preservatives, artificial flavors, lecithin, or hydrogenated fats. Terra Dulce chocolate is real chocolate since it's made with the finest and most selected ingredients that allow you to be certain of nourish yourself and benefiting from all the nutritional properties of cocoa. Cocoa is considered a superfood since it provides antioxidants, magnesium, manganese, and flavonoids in significant quantities. That's why it's so called food of the gods. As you can see, Terra Dulce chocolate has a sustainability objective that is reflected in every stage of our process. We want to take care of our farmers, our team, the environment, to live in a world where mindful eating is in our lives every day. Because you have to be aware of what are you buying, what are you eating, what are you leaving to our planet, how the economy is impacted by our daily actions. So that's why Terra Dulce has born, to create impact and to help many families and many people in our region.
Awesome. Well, thank you. That sounds amazing. And this is the story. This is the story that we're looking for. These are the impacts and these are the causes that draws our attention. And we invite you, if you are unclear as to how you then, express these causes, how you then showcase this, we want to then help you to point these out to our heart shoppers, because they are the ones who are looking for these opportunities to make a difference, and they're interested in learning about these specific causes. My final question to you, Paola, is so talk to us about your experience so far with Purposely. When did you start Purposely or became a member of Purposely, and what's your experience so far in terms of the platform and the general experience overall?
Well, we made our first shipment in November, at the end of November 2020. We sent 10 units of each reference and flavor that we have. We had very good sales. We made a second shipment a month later at the end of December. The experience has been good. I think being able to have access to the US market definitely gives you a competitive advantage and leverage in sales. The whole process has been easy. We have received the support of Ricardo and the entire team. We also received our first payment for our sales. So we are sure that we will continue with a good story to tell. The platform allows you to control and verify sales, stock. You can manage and request payments by yourself. You can modify or add products. Although the first time my sales executive did it for me, so it was very, very simple and easy for me. Now we are from the bean to bar, from the Colombian coffee mountains to US market. So I really invite you, all are you hearing this short presentation, to take a chance and take the step to start your sales with Purposely.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. We really love when our vendors have magic moments. We are striving, our mission is to allow each of our vendors in telling their story, in sharing the causes that they support, and demonstrating the impact that they're having in their world through the creation of products. We really love when they get to a magic moment, and that magic moment is really just a symbolic of how important it is, and it's the kind of support that they can garner from the heart shopping community, if you may, with respect to helping them to continue to echo their message and to have impact in what it is that they're doing. So thank you so much for sharing that, Paola. We really appreciate that. If you
Thank
have
you.
any questions at all, for Paola, who is an existing vendor, in terms of her experience, any questions around that, put the questions in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them. Paola is going to stick around to answer the question. Again, if you would like to then know her thoughts and other general questions about being a member of the platform. So thank you again. And now we want to just show you a little bit about how do you then become, what's that process of becoming a vendor, that sign up process, that registration process. What do I have to do now, or what do I have to do next? And we want to then invite Sangram Singh, or e-commerce manager, to then share his screen and show you what's that step-by-step process that you need to take to become a part of our community and start selling your products. Sangram, over to you.
Well, thank you, Ricardo, and hello everyone. Let me just walk you around quickly through the various features of our dashboard that we have for the vendors. So this is the link where we need to start when we go on this page, sell.purposely.com/pricing. We have two plans here. One is the quarterly plan, that is for $177, and the another one is an annual plan for $600. So we have the different features here for each of the plan. As a vendor, you can get started by clicking on this link. That leads to the registration process. So in the next screen, the registration process is very simple. You just need to fill out the personal details, the phone number, and the shop name that is visible to the customers. So it is URL. For example, it is for Terra Dulce, it is Terra Dulce Chocolates. So it appears as Terra Dulce Chocolates in the link that is visible to the customers. So these are the few basic things that you need to fill out. And then after registration, the next thing that you are able to see is the vendor dashboard. So this is the dashboard that actually is the place from where you can manage all your sales, you can manage all your products, listings, orders, all the things that you need to take care of for selling your things, and managing the payments are on this dashboard. So on the dashboard itself, the first thing that you see is the summary of all the things, the sales, the earnings, and whatever products you have. All the things are visible here as a summary. But the first thing that we need to do is to complete the profile. So by clicking on the complete your profile tab, there are a few things related to your firm that needs to be filled out regarding your business, the causes that you support, the products that you have, if you have any certifications, if you have any rewards, any approvals. So all those things you can fill out here, so that we go through the things, and if you need any help regarding those things, we can help you by going through the details that you have filled. So once all these things have been scrutinized by the Purpusly team, you get an approval to go ahead. So once you have got the approval, then the next thing that you can do is you can go to the vendor dashboard again, and there on the vendor dashboard we have the subscription tab. So this is the subscription tab here. Here you can see the plans that I discussed just a few minutes back. So the two plans that we have are annual plan and the quarterly plan. So once you have the approval from the Purpusly team, you can purchase any of these two plans, whichever suits your needs. The quarterly plan has a validity of 3 months and it has a trial period of 30 days, whereas the annual plan has a validity of 12 months and a trial period of 3 months. So you need to purchase the subscription so that the products that you have, you are able to upload them and the customers are able to see the products. The next thing is the products tab, from where you can upload your products once you have an active subscription plan. So these are the products that are already uploaded on our demo dashboard. So these are the products that have been uploaded. From here you can manage the orders, manage your products, and if you have any stocks, you can change the stocks, you can change the pricing. All those things can be done from there. Then you can also create coupons. From the coupons, if you have any sales, you can create the sales. If you can create any sale, you can create any coupons from this section. Then one of the main tab is the withdrawal section, from where you can request withdrawal. Once you have made some sales, the minimum withdrawal amount is $35. So once you have the balance over $35, you can request a withdrawal, and the same withdrawal request is shown to us in the admin panel, and whichever is the preferred payment method, it is PayPal or your bank account, the payment is transferred to that account. So these are a few things that are there that I showcased you. There is a complete tutorial of all the features in detail that will be launching soon. We'll be sharing you the links to those tutorials so that you can go through them in detail. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to us for support, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you. Over to you, Ricardo.
All right, well, thank you, Sangram. I wanted to maybe just go back to the dashboard for a little bit. Just so when you register to become a vendor, like he said, there are several things that we'd like for you to do. And the first thing is to complete your profile. We need to know about you and the causes that you are supporting, any certification that you might have around the causes or the impacts that you make around your products. All of those information are vital to us building out then a profile for you, because the more comprehensive and detailed you are with that profile, this is going to help our customers to then understand the impact that you're making and support you. And so it's important for you to do that when you get in. Obviously, like he mentioned about the subscription, you need to then set up your subscription so that you can start adding products. You add the best images that you have and you add the details of your products within the system before we can then start showcasing it on the marketplace. Whatever you do here in this dashboard actually is showcased on the marketplace. You can speak about the other channels. So usually we'll ask you about the other channels during the process of onboarding you. And the other channels are, of course, the subscription box. If you have the ability to provide samples for that box, then that's something that will ensure that your samples get into those boxes. There is no cost, by the way, to be a part of the subscription box. It is free to you as a vendor, or Heart Shoppers, or the premium version of our Heart Shoppers. They are the ones who pays for the box, and it's just to cover shipping, because essentially we're not seeking to make anything from the box in terms of the, any sales, any revenue. We're not really focusing on that. What we're focusing on for box is to create an opportunity to connect you, your products, your story with a vendor who says, I'm interested in this particular cause. I'm interested in supporting this particular cause. And coming up shortly as well, we're going to have a cause quiz. We call it a cause quiz for our heart shoppers. We'll be quizzing them and giving them an opportunity to talk more about the things that they care about. And that's going to help us to serve them specific product recommendations based on the things that they do care about. So we're excited to launch that component of our platform shortly, and you'll be able to see that. The pop-up store, if you are interested in the pop-up store, it's really a matter of then speaking to our business development team to then enable that option for you if you are interested. But this registration process that was just demonstrated to you is specifically for the marketplace. And then the other channels, like I said, the pop-up store is available. We might not be able to do as many of them as we used to pre-pandemic because of the situation, obviously. But you can talk to us about what that actually looks like. I mean, that's actually just representing you in a physical environment, in a marketplace environment, like a farmer's market or an artisan market. And also, we can also do that for indoor malls that we have partnerships with. So you can check in with us if you're interested in that. But we suggest starting with the marketplace because that will actually give you that opportunity to then showcase your products. You must be a part of the marketplace for you to be a part of anything else, any of the other channels. But you don't have to be doing the pop-up shop, or you don't have to do the subscription box if you are interested in those channels. But if you are interested in those channels, our goal is to have you on the marketplace first and foremost, and then we can help you with those other channels. So for now, we're going to jump right into any questions that you might have. We'd like to just unmute. You can unmute yourself if you have a specific question for any of the presentation, for any of the areas that we discussed. We'd love to give you an opportunity to ask those now, and then we can answer those before we wrap up. So I don't know, Daniela, if did we get any questions that came in that you wanted to point out?
Okay. Yes, I only saw one question. Wait a second. One question. But if anyone has a question, feel free to open your microphone and ask us your specific question.
Hi, here's Jens from Definite Chocolate. Thank you for the presentation. Super interesting. My question would be, how does the shipping process work? So we just send with DHL, UPS, or whatever to your place. You receive it and ready, or how does that work? And then the second one would be, how many samples do you recommend to send for the boxes?
Okay, those are two great questions. Thank you for that, Jens. So the shipping, as a vendor, we have a fulfillment facility. We have partners. We have fulfillment partners in South Florida, in Miami, and we're creating one for Georgia, in the northeast part of the state of Georgia. And so you have two options to then share your products in terms of location. How that works is it is an option. It is not a requirement. We recommend it though for international vendors, simply because it is a lot easier to ship a product that is already here on the ground in the United States than it is to ship it directly from where you are if you are in another country. And so you will then be responsible to send that directly to our facility. You will sign a fulfillment agreement, and we can share that with you once you become a vendor. And the fulfillment agreement basically just tells you where to send it, how to send it, what portions of your inventory or so you can send to us. And once you would have done that, The goal, therefore, is to then allow us to receive those items in our facility. And once we receive it, then we are responsible now for holding and packing and shipping those items on your behalf whenever an order is placed through our website. So that's essentially how that part of the process works. So you will just have to then organize the shipment. You don't need to send if this is your first shipment, you can start with we like to recommend you start with a small portion. We don't need you to send a container load of items. I mean, not that you cannot, but we don't recommend it. If it's your first shipment, we recommend sending a small portions of your products. Send it to either of the facility based on which ones you'd like to send to. I mean, ideally, we normally take items from the Miami facility and ship it northbound, but we're working on a facility in Georgia, so we have products in Georgia that we then ship further east or north, which is also good as well. We've shipped out to Texas, and it becomes a little easier if we have then Georgia heading east, or Alabama section and so forth, north up to the Carolinas and New York. We have vendors who are also in New York too. So you don't have to use a facility, but if you choose to do it, send the items to us at the location, and we will then receive it, and our responsibility to care for your product starts there. These are insured facilities. Your items are safe and protected. You just would need to then just indicate to us that you'd be interested in doing that. Some of our vendors have indicated that they want to fulfill their own items directly to our facility, particularly if it includes additional items from other vendors who might be at the facility as well. But we highly recommend, as an international vendor, that process includes you sending it up to us, and then we'll take care of it from there. The other question that you asked, which was how much in terms of a portion or percentage of samples. Well, we would love to have as many samples as you can provide, because as we engage with hard shoppers, as we engage with the public, we certainly would want to have access to samples that we can then share with them, because our job is to tell your story. So we just, for example, got invited to speak at the 1 Million Cups, which is I'm not sure how many of you know about that, but the 1 Million Cups is a national sort of organization, and every week they have these presentations from companies like ours to share our story and to get feedback from the communities. And so we are talking to our vendors now to say, are you interested then in sharing some of your samples, because they ask us to sort of provide a setup, and it's your products. And so we'd love the opportunity to then share you. That's what we do. We share you with these prospects or these customers at every opportunity that we get. Our goal is to share you. And so as we do that, we need to have samples to be able to do that. So, as much as you can afford to send in your first batch, you can go ahead and send it, because there's one thing that we have realized that hard shoppers like to do. They like to try the items, and particularly if you decide to do the pop-up shops at a later time, or you decide to be included in the subscription box, then we need to have samples, and we need to be able to access those easily to then share it with them. What happens when a customer gets that subscription box? We give them an opportunity that's exclusive. No one else has gotten an opportunity like that to come to our marketplace and then purchase the products. And so that's essentially the secret component that's within the box. And so that is something that we will be talking to you if you're interested in that component or that channel. But the marketplace, certainly folks who will request samples, we have influencers as an example, and we have an influencer network that we're working on, and they would like to have samples. And so we have to then share samples with them across different spaces. So we want to have samples available so that we can continue our efforts to get influencers to try your products, to talk about it. And that's essentially also one of the reasons that we need as much of it as you can afford. So we're not able to say, well, send us this percentage or that percentage. but look at your own inventory and your own affordability to then share that with us. You don't have to, it's not the end, it's just the beginning. So you can periodically share samples as you have them available and as you're growing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Any other question?
Well, actually, I just have one. Just one question out of curiosity. I mean, we are going to send the samples, and then you guys have it stored on your store and on your website. And my question is, do you guys get a percentage of sale, or you guys just use a subscription fee that we are supposed to pay every month or a year? And how would that work? Do you guys get a percentage out of the product we sell? How does it work?
Yes. So that's a great question in terms of the transaction. So for every product that is purchased on the platform, the marketplace, this is the question. For every product that is purchased on the marketplace, there is what we call a transaction fee. And that transaction fee is 10% of the entire sale. And so this transaction fee is broken down into two parts. One is through the payment processor. If you are familiar with shopping online, and then you know that if you don't own the processing machine, which is something that we'll do in the future, and even if we do own it, we still have to pay a processing fee. So that is a 3.9% on average that usually is paid out to the processor to process the credit card or the PayPal or the Apple Pay, any of those processing payments. The difference goes into then our commission, which is essentially 6.1% commission that we'll take. So it's a small commission that we're actually getting. But what actually happens is that we get that 6.1% commission, and the other 3.9% is then paid over to the processor. So that's a total of 10%. In addition to the 6.1% that we receive as a commission to maintain the platform, we ask for the subscription, which is what you will pay an annual fee or quarterly fee for. We recommend the annual for the international vendors, but you will then pay that on an annual basis to support the marketing efforts, the digital marketing efforts, the webinars like these that we actually do, the presentations that we do from time to time, and essentially to get more traffic onto or the platform to see your products, to try it, to get influencers helping us to promote the products. So we have a long agenda of things that we can do from a marketing standpoint. And what you pay is just not enough, but we understand that it is not going to be about that for us. What it is giving you more exposure, giving you more visibility. So right now it's a combination of that 6.1% commission that we get, plus that annual fee, which works out to be about $30 something a month. And on aggregate, we would love to then use that to promote promote your story, promote your products. At the fulfillment level, there is also a small percentage there, and that's actually listed in the agreement. I think the percentage runs between 10 and 20%, depending on the product that you're actually selling and the value of the product. But again, the fulfillment is an option. So if it's something that you are certainly interested in, then you should certainly consider that. So when we think about the layers of cost, it sometimes get complicated for some vendors, but we're trying our best to simplify that. And so right now your transactions are specifically for processing fee, 3.9%, for our commission, which is 6.1%, and you will pay the membership fee, which is the $600 for the year. That's actually at a discount versus paying a monthly fee month over month. So those are our fee structure. That's our fee structure at this particular point in time. And we want to hear more from you, and we want to hear your thoughts about those transaction fees or those subscription fees, and how you think we can better improve that. But that's essentially what we will do with the commission and the subscription that we get from you. It's totally going into marketing and maintaining the product development.
Okay.
Hopefully that answered the question, Yuri.
Yeah, I did. Actually, yeah, that was pretty much one of the discussions I was having here with a colleague of mine. We were discussing about the cost and how it would work. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much answered. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Do we have another question in the chat?
Yes. But I think that Federico and Maria wants to talk.
Okay, so go ahead.
Go ahead. Please, Maria, if you want, you can start.
Yes, good afternoon. Actually, this is Domenico. I'm Maria's husband. Okay, but
Okay.
we are here both together. First of all, thanks a lot for the invitation and then the very interesting presentations that we were getting the opportunity to hear from. And what I would like to ask, we are getting familiarized with the modality of getting into a systems with a process with you, and of course the cost structures of your services. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Me?
Yes, we can hear you.
And what I would like to perhaps focus on is the inherent difficulties with this mechanism. I'm afraid it might appear a bit naive, but I can provide you with an example.
Yes.
I'm now in Uruguay, and lately I purchased a small cable from JBL Lab, a firm which is producing hardware for audio system. And I purchased that through UPS. The cost of this small specialized cable was $14. The cost of the UPS carrier shipping was about $40. But then I ended up paying up to $50 of customs fees associated to various functions in the Uruguay customs offices. From your presentation, one get the idea that everything is smooth and very easy as far as the transfer of the products is concerned from the place, in this case Uruguay, to the US. But it is a bit unclear to me what the difficulties can be with the customs and or FDA. In our case, we produce high quality health food, which is extra virgin olive oil out of genetically certified trees from Italy, linked to the Italian tradition of producing olive oil of very high quality, which, as you may know, is a product which is growingly of interest in the international market, and other products such as table olives and olive pate and similar things. So the question is, how, if it is not chocolate, how other products can easily access the US market, and which type of difficulties we should prepare to overcome to actually get our products in the market. As a second question of more general interest, do you have perhaps an inventory of experience that were not successful, so that one can easily learn on, as you know, unsuccessful stories are full of useful insights, and they can provide very useful information for those that are actually interested in initiating some business like this one. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the question. So I'll go at the first question that you ask about the customs and the perhaps the treatment that you would then be given upon exporting your items to the United States. We have a small team of consultants that can particularly help you with FDA related matters as well as custom clearance matters. And if you are interested in speaking with those, we are not custom brokers. So we do not act as a custom broker, or we are not FDA specialist. Our focus is operating a multi-channel platform within the North American market to showcase your products and showcase your business and tell your story. And so our interest is specifically that. We, however, want to help you to become successful, because that is part of our mantra for you as a vendor, particularly if you're an international vendor. Having said that, we believe that we would love to refer those kinds of tasks to experts who have certainly done this on several occasions. For example, the consultants that can help you with the custom brokerage, we are happy to then make a connection to them for you, as well as an FDA specialist. If your product is already certified by the FDA, we see no trouble from our experience with getting those items into our facility. However, just to confirm, we can then, Marifel perhaps can connect you. Marifel, we could probably connect him to the consulting team with Niama, just to sort of specifically answer that question in how he will be able to then deal with customs if there's any sort of potential challenges that might come up there. The second question with respect to the unsuccessful stories, by default, we tend to share success stories. And so it's an interesting question that you ask about the unsuccessful stories. Nonetheless, we do have a little of both. We are very optimistic in nature, and or by nature rather. And so we always like to think about the positive things, because that's what drives us, but notwithstanding continuous reflection on the things that did not work. Some of the things that we have seen that did not work is, if you have a product that expires too soon in the market, then that could be a potential problem. If you have a product that then we call it the learning curve or the success curve. You heard the story of Terra Dulce. She was able to do that, get her first payout as a vendor within days or at least a month of being on the platform. We cannot guarantee that everyone will actually enjoy that sort of success, but there are some products that take a little longer for penetration in the market. There are some products that we have to do a little more for than others. Some products are not like chocolate, where there might be samples and people will then react immediately after sampling those products. So it very much depends on the product that you have. But in general terms, when you share products and you send products here, take a look at the expiration dates and the shelf lives, because those are important. How long can they sit in our facility as we then work on pushing them out? If you don't have samples, then that could also create some sort of unsuccessful chart for you, because our customers love to try things, and they love to, if I may say this in this term, and our American friends will understand that, and that is, the Americans love freebies. And I don't know, maybe other parts of the world that does love freebie. I love freebies as well. Americans love freebies, and they love guarantee. And if you can send them something for free every day, they will certainly take it. And so the idea of having samples to accompany your inventory, it is one of the best things you can do for yourself to increase your chances of success at that specific point. So those are two other things that we can think about. I mean, I could think about some other things like your profile, how you then describe and complete your profile as a vendor, some other things that you actually do on your own. some of the most successful vendors that we've had, they are optimistic and they're enthusiastic about sharing their involvement with Purposely in their own community. And because they do that, their community, whether their community exists in Texas or any other parts in Florida, in Georgia of the United States, they then their community rally around their objective and their mission and support them. And so we see success also is driven like that, because we're building a community. And if you are on the platform and you know folks who are also in the US, you can share it with share this this decision that you've made to be a part of Purposely with them. Share it on social media, so that also helps to drive the success as well. So that's another thing that I can actually think about. And there may be other things, but as we get to know your products and get to know you more, then we will be able to help you to avoid those pitfalls before they arrive. So I hope that was helpful. I hope I've answered the question. Okay, so
yes, thank very many thanks. That was very informative and very useful, and I hope my questions were able to encourage interest towards your platform. For me it was very interesting. Very many thanks.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that we were able to do that. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. We're going to take a few more. I know Ernesto, before we go into the chat, I know Ernesto had a question. Would Ernesto like to unmute? I could probably ask you to unmute. I understand you have a question you wanted to ask. Okay, so we'll move on then, maybe, because I'm not sure Ernesto is listening, or you have to unmute your mic. So let's move on. Daniela, do we have another question from the chat that we can answer?
Yes, we have 3 questions.
Yes.
The first one is from Agroindustria, Sasha Megacol. And she said, I would like to know how we can enter with a natural product like Sasha Inchi oil, and its derivatives with us.
Okay, so you'd like to know, I didn't get the last part of the question. You would like to know how we can
enter, how they can participate in our platform with a natural product like their Sasha Inchi oil.
Okay, well, I'm not familiar with the Sasha Inchi oil, and I would love to get to know what that product is. And so certainly that sounds exciting. If you go through the process of registering on our platform, getting set up, we'll be able to then take a look at your product and we'll start the discussion with you in terms of getting you onboarded. Clearly, if you're an international vendor, and it sounds like that, you would then need to start preparing to send us whether samples or actual portions of an inventory that we can then store within the United States on the grounds, and we can start promoting your products. It's hard for us to tell you that the product will certainly sell. I mean, there's nothing that we can say that will say we've got. Right now we have customers, and our customers are happy to try the items. If it's a new item, they're always willing to do that. We have influencers who are happy to talk about your products. And if you have a product that is loved where you are, or you feel like it has a market here in the US, the US has over 300 million people, and e-commerce is the fastest growing segment online today. The last e-commerce numbers came out to be tops over 200 plus $billion just in the last quarter. So it's there's a lot of activity that goes on there, and if you are confident that this is a good fit, we think a new product. People are always interested in discovering new products, in connecting with new causes, in learning more about new vendors and new places. And if you'd like to be a part of that community, then it's about taking that step to then get your products here initially. Let's get that ball rolling in connecting your products to heart shoppers, and we will see how best we can then create some success for you. We have over 50 years experience in e-commerce, in digital marketing, and how we then do business together for a number of different clients. I personally have been in the business of online marketing and digital marketing for the last 18 years. So I do understand to some extent how we can actually get things move and make things happen for your product. So it's hard for me to tell you that yes, definitely it will certainly be something that everyone would want to sort of take right away from you, because I personally don't know the product, but would love to get to know it. But I do think that if there's a market here, which I'm sure there is, we can then tap into the heart shoppers to try and discover and try these items. What do we have a next question?
Yes. Second question from Christy Teasdale. Bigfoot for Good said, are there warehouses loading fees and reclamation fees if products don't move within a certain time frame?
Yeah, if the products don't move within a certain time frame, currently we do not have any loading fees for warehousing. We do not have any reclamation fees. What we work on is trying our best to ensure that we use marketing strategies to get those products out. So I give you an example. If at any point your product might not be doing well as you anticipate, then we can lower the price. Maybe we can create more combinations. Maybe we can do other sales retail strategy to get those products moving. We can share with more influencers across different spaces. So there are different strategies that we can employ over the period to quickly determine how successful your product could be. But if it gets to that point where we'll then have to do then reclamation, there is no cost to that. Our belief is that if you have to reclaim it, then we could potentially then sort of give it away for free. So we can partner with another vendor, as an example, to say, if you can get a chocolate and a wine, maybe a free bar of chocolate and a bottle of wine at a half price or so. And these are retail strategies. And so we have a couple of them up our sleeves that we'd love to then be able to employ. If we get to that point. We're trying not to get to that point where you have to reclaim the items. But we've not had any items reclaimed, just so you know. So for the last 12 months that we've had items in our facilities, none of those items have been reclaimed to date, because then we use these different strategies to help to get those products out of the facility into the hands of our consumers. Next question.
Okay. From Yuri Mendez, have you from Purposely already worked with FCLs?
Well, I'm not sure. You may have to tell us what FCL is. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the...
FCL stands for full container load. It means full container. Have you guys ever worked with containers?
Okay, so Marifel is here, and Marifel can help us to answer that. Marifel?
Well, Yuri, for now we're working with couriers. We are not using maritime flights right now. We are using all the products by plane. In different ways, if you are going to send small boxes, or if you have a master boxes, but all by plane. We are not using because we are not handling very big quantities right now to full a container, and every vendor is handling their own shipping. We are not consolidating the products or something like that.
Yeah, and we would not encourage you to send a container. Your first shipment should not be that, so we recommend against that. We would rather you start small and then have a higher demand for the product than having a larger quantity of items stored and the demand is not as we anticipate. So that's our recommendation. Any other question?
Okay, no, that was the last question.
All right, awesome. Well, we're so glad that you spent the additional time with us. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you. We would love to hear from you as you register to become a vendor, as you be a part of our community. If you'd still like to learn more, please send us an email. Please reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere there's Purposely on social media. We also have a Facebook group for vendors only, and if you are not yet a member of that group, please go to Facebook and look for the Purposely Vendor Facebook group, and you can join that for news and updates as we progress into adding more vendors. And so Marifel has also shared as our business development person her email address that you can reach out to her personally with additional questions. But we would love to then offer you the opportunity to come on our platform. We have Valentine's coming up, which is an important it's an important event in North America. I'm sure it's important elsewhere as well. If you are considering being a part of that, you are late, but we'll still be able to facilitate you. But it would mean that you will have to act quickly, and you would have to act swiftly in terms of getting registered and getting your products in to the market so that it can be a part of our Valentine's promotion. If for any reason you cannot do that, then we know we have another big event coming up, which includes St. Patrick's Day, which is a sort of a green day here in the US, as well as we've got Easter that's coming up, and that would then be another major event that you can plan for as you build the process around becoming a part of our community. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. And any additional questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to us. But we appreciate you spending this extra time with us. So have a good afternoon and or evening where you are, and looking forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Or next webinar for vendors is coming up on February 24th. Is that the correct date? I hope, Daniela. February 24th, we will have our next vendor webinar. So stay tuned, stay close to your email. If we can do anything at all to help you to become successful, feel free to let us know. We're excited to help you, and we'd love to partner with you for you to enjoy success in the North American market. So thank you very much, and have a good one, and we'll talk soon.